am BrittanyPfantz. I graduated from DeRidder High School, class of 2009. While I was in DeRidder High School, I had a lot of accomplishments. I graduated top of the class, and I also was very involved in sports. Track and field was my main sport, and pole vault was my main event. I won the state championship, class 4A, in the year of 2009, my senior year. I believe the jump was 11.6, something like that. And then I went on and received a college scholarship, full paid, for Southeastern Louisiana University. And there I received some honors. I am still currently the record holder at Southland Conference for the pole vault with a jump of 4.01 meters. And I believe the record that I beat was 4 meters, so barely beat it. And I also won the Southland Conference Indoor Championships. I believe that was 2012, and placed first, second, or third many times within the 4 years that I was there. Went on into the next rounds up until regionals and did well there, barely missing the mark for nationals. Always just slight little pole problems, so it was a fun time. I went on from college and became involved. I graduated with exercise science, and I have not used that yet because I felt that the Lord was calling me into the mission field through a series of events. I felt Him whispering that, so I began a journey of searching what that might be, and came across an organization called YWAM, which is Youth with a Mission. They have them all over the world, and I went to the one in Hawaii. Let's see. So in December of 2012, I received a ukulele from my parents. I was wanting one, just kind of wanting to play around with music. I really loved to listen to music. I loved concerts, things like that, but never thought that I was going to be involved in music. So this was kind of just a fun thing. Well, January of 2014 is when I decided, that's when I left for YWAM. And that was the first time that I performed with my ukulele and singing in front of my churches whenever they were sending me out. So they, Grace Church supported me to go to the YWAM, and I believe that that's where my music, my musical abilities, things like that, started really launching and opening doors. So when I went to YWAM, I received some insight on that, and I started seeing that God had placed this gifting in me of music. And then I was sent to Brazil they sent us out into mission trips, and my country was Brazil. And in Brazil, I also received some words, received some confirmation about music and about this ministry that I have in me. So that was really cool how God used these different places where people knew nothing about me. And then so I came back from Brazil, and I really felt compelled that this was a place that I would be going back to often. And not only Brazil, all over the world. So I went back to Brazil, and whenever I went back, a man there, he's a Brazilian man, and he's really into music. He sings at the church. He has a band, and they have EPs and albums out, and he was like, I want to produce you. I want you to do music. And I was like, okay, all right, so let's do this. So I've been working on this album with him, and so it's my music, my lyrics, and he put some Brazilian style in it, because that's who he is. So it's a really cool, it's going to be a mixture of this American and Brazilian culture, and it's not quite finished yet. I'm actually going back to Brazil in a few days, about 6 days. So I'm leaving to go to Brazil January 21st, and I will be returning April 22nd. I'll be gone for about 3 months, and I will be finishing recording my album, and I'll also be working with the college ministry there through a church called Mount Zion, and the college ministry is called Dunamis. And I'll be working with them in the colleges, releasing words, telling my testimony, doing worship, singing, and making music with them. And I'll also be doing ministry with a children's ministry in the favelas, and that's actually the poor neighborhoods, so the children are at high risk for involvement in drugs in the future. So we come in and we nurture them and we hang out with them, so I'm really excited about that.
So when you reflect on what's happened in the last couple of years, and your mom talking earlier about how you used to sing, and but that was sort of forgotten about or not fully identified. And, as you reflect on that right now, what's your response? Or
I've actually thought a lot about that, and sometimes it made me a little upset because I felt like, man, I could have been in music my whole life. I could have been. I did do band in junior high from 6th to 8th grade, and I was, always first chair, honor band, just really involved in that. And then I put that down and kind of started searching through other things. And I believe that was a choice that I made that also put a little hindrance on this music thing, which God redeemed, and I'm back in it. But I do believe that God was showing me as a small child that that was His plan, that's what He put inside of me. And I've looked back through just a lot of times I write a lot in notebooks and stuff, and that's where my music comes from. So I looked back through notebooks and realized, wow, He's always put this music in me. I've always had this inside of me, and He's just, the more I learn who He is and who I am in Him, it just comes out.
Do you think you could have been the athlete, the student, the musician, all of that? Or do you think...
Actually, yes. Because I've always been a hard worker, and whenever I have a task set before me, I want to do it well. I want to be the best. I'm competitive. And I think that it would have been more stressful. I put a lot of stress on myself. However, I know that I would have been able to do it. I would have gotten through.
Telling your story about this gift emerging or re-emerging in such a stronger way, how have others responded to that testimony?
I think it encourages them to want to kind of seek in what are those dreams, what are those life passions that they haven't quite, or either they laid aside or they haven't, and it's just encouraging them to stir that up and to see what am I here for, and how can I find it. And God completely showed me mine, so I encourage them that if they're seeking, they're going to find it.